There is a kind of voice that does not need volume to be heard. It does not rush. It does not perform. It does not chase your attention with noise or spectacle. It simply speaks. And when it does, something inside you goes completely still. That is the voice of a man who has lived, a man whose words are not borrowed from books or rehearsed in mirrors. They come from decades of loss, of rebuilding, of watching the world long enough to finally understand it. And when that man looks at you, truly looks at you, and says something real, it does not just reach your ears. It reaches the part of you that has been waiting quietly for a very long time. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you is not just a list. It is a mirror. And you may not be ready for what you see in it. Most compliments are currency. They are spent quickly and forgotten faster. They are designed to get something, your smile, your attention, your softness. But there is a different kind of compliment. One that does not take, one that gives. And it almost always comes from a man who no longer needs anything from you. A man who has already walked through enough fire to know the difference between what glitters and what glows. Today we are talking about 8 of those compliments. The ones that land differently, the ones that stay. Not because of how they sound, but because of what they see. Before we go deeper, if this is the kind of content that makes you feel something real, something you cannot quite name but cannot ignore, subscribe to this channel right now. This is a space built on depth, not distraction, on truth, not trends. And there is so much more waiting for you here. Hit subscribe and stay close. Compliment number 1. You are not like most people. From a young man, this means you surprised him. You exceeded his small frame of reference. That is not depth. That is just limited experience meeting something new. But from an older man, that sentence carries the weight of thousands of people he has known. Decades of watching patterns repeat, masks worn and dropped, people shrinking under pressure, people choosing comfort over truth. When he tells you that you are not like most people, he is not flattering you. He is recognizing you, and recognition from a man who has seen everything twice is not a compliment. It is a verdict. Compliment number 2. You don't need to prove anything. You have been proving yourself your entire life. To your family, to your workplace, to people who never even asked, but somehow made you feel like you owed them evidence of your worth. And then a man with steady eyes and decades behind him looks at you and says those 6 words. And something inside you breaks open. Not because he gave you permission, but because he saw what you were doing to yourself. The invisible labor, the quiet exhaustion of always earning your right to exist. That compliment does not make you feel pretty. It makes you feel free. Compliment number 3. You remind me of someone I deeply respect. This is not comparison. This is lineage. When an older man says this, he is connecting you to a woman who shaped him. A woman who changed the temperature of a room without raising her voice. A woman who left marks, not on paper, but on souls. He is saying, you carry something timeless, something I have only seen in women who truly mattered. That is not nostalgia. That is precision. Accept it like the inheritance it is. Compliment number 4. You are the calmest person in this room. The world rewards noise, it rewards reaction, it rewards chaos dressed up as passion. But an older man knows something different. He knows that the most powerful thing in any room is not the loudest voice. It is the stillest presence. When he notices you're calm, he is not commenting on your mood. He is honoring your discipline, your warfare. Because calm is not passive, calm is a choice. And choosing it again and again, in the middle of storms that would break most people, that is mastery. He sees that. He respects it, because he knows exactly how many years it cost. If something in these words is moving through you right now, that warmth, that quiet recognition, do not ignore it. Share this video with a woman in your life who needs to hear this tonight. A sister, a friend, someone carrying weight she has never spoken about. And if you have not subscribed yet, do it now. There is more here waiting for you. 4 words, simple, almost too simple. But hear them in context. You are falling apart. The ground beneath you feels like sand. Every plan has crumbled. The future looks like a blank wall. And a man who has buried dreams and rebuilt from rubble, who has survived his own disasters and is still standing, looks at you and says, "You are going to be fine." That is not optimism, that is testimony. He is not guessing. He is remembering. He sees in you the same thing that kept him alive, a refusal to quit, a stubbornness wrapped in grace but made of iron. From a man like that, those 4 words are not a wish. They are a prophecy. Believe him. Compliment number 6. You don't tolerate nonsense, and I admire that. So many women are taught to be agreeable, to smooth things over, to make peace at their own expense, to smile while burning. And when you stop doing that, when you finally stop cuts, some people call you difficult, cold, too much. But an older man with real scars and real lessons sees it differently. He sees a woman who chose herself, not out of arrogance, out of survival. A woman who learned that boundaries are not walls, they are doors, and you decide who walks through. When he says he admires that, he has nothing to gain, no angle to work. He is simply telling the truth, because the truth is all he has left to offer. And it is more than enough. Compliment number 7. Whoever raised you did something right. Maybe they did not raise you at all. Maybe the chairs were empty at the table where your parents should have sat. Maybe you built your own compass from broken pieces and sheer will. But when an older man says this, like, he is not praising your parents. He is praising you. He is praising the fact that something good took root despite every reason it should not have. Despite the drought, despite the storms, despite the neglect. He is complimenting your fruit, not your soil. And for a woman who built herself from nothing, that is everything. Compliment number 8. You don't need me or anyone to tell you what you are worth. Read that again, slowly. You don't need me or anyone to tell you what you are worth. When an older man says this, he is doing something extraordinary. He is removing himself from your validation system. He is stepping off the pedestal. He is telling you that your worth is not located in his gaze or anyone's gaze, not in applause, not in love, not in desire. It lives inside you, self-contained, already complete. That is the most powerful compliment a man can give, because it does not build a cage made of praise. It does not chain you to his approval. It sets you free, completely, permanently. Now let me say something to every woman listening right now. You have been hungry for these words, not because you are broken, not because you are incomplete, but because the world has been feeding you the wrong things for years. Attention instead of respect, excitement instead of peace, noise instead of truth. And you have been starving in the middle of abundance. These compliments hit differently not because of who says them, but because of what they honor. They honor your stillness, your backbone, your refusal to shrink, your ability to keep going when you had every reason, every permission to stop. And you did not. They honor your architecture, not your appearance, your roots, not your petals, your foundation, not your decoration. That is what you have been waiting to hear. Not that you are beautiful. The mirror told you that. The world told you that. That was never the question. The question was, am I seen? Am I known? Am I valued for what lives beneath the surface? And the answer, from a man who has lived long enough to know the difference between beauty and substance, is yes, you are seen, you are known, you are valued. Not for what you show, but for what you are. Do not dim it. Do not shrink it. Do not fold yourself into a smaller shape so that smaller minds can understand you. You were never too much. You were just surrounded by people without the capacity to hold what you are. But that era is ending. If this reached you tonight, if something in these words felt like coming home, subscribe to this channel. Share this with a woman who needs to hear it. A sister, a mother, a stranger carrying weight she has never spoken aloud. Because this is where we build something different, not louder, not faster, truer, deeper, realer. And you deserve that more than you know. I will see you in the next one.